This is for all you agency new business people out there. I'm going to show you how to find the hottest accounts to go after. These are accounts that have a really good reason to look into agency services or any kind of marketing services, quite frankly. These are accounts that have new products and services that are being developed that are not yet in the market. Sometimes it's an entirely new brand, or maybe they're expanding a brand. I'm going to show you how to find them. So Media Black Book, to get this type of information, you just go to the monitoring tab. It'll bring up the monitoring section of the website. You want to make sure you're into the activity tab here, the sub tab. Now there's three different timelines within this activity search. There is the pre-release timeline, the release timeline, and the forecast. So basically they are what they sound like. Pre-release is everything that is not yet on the market, and the release timeline has hit the market. And anything in the forecast is stuff that we are basically, it's our estimated projection to when we think these items are going to be on the market. Only so many accounts have this information. They tend to be the bigger accounts. You have to have a certain amount of data to be able to make some kind of a forecast like that. Most people are probably going to be sticking to the pre-release timeline. So for this demonstration, I'm just going to keep it on that. Underneath it is the activity date range. You can go ahead and pick any range you want. I'm just going to go back to March 1st. Now under the activities detected checkbox here, you'll find a bunch of different activities that we do track. We track things like raising capital, company name changes, loans being secured, brands being expanded, new brands being developed, new products, even changes to major logos and brands. New package designs are also in here, suspected ad campaign development, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty powerful. Most people in the agency new business game are probably going to be most interested in the new brands and new products. I'm just going to go ahead and keep it on new brands. Now, you probably also want to focus in on agency or on accounts that have a history of using agencies. So you can come under the agency tab here, and you can just go ahead and select external. That bring back only accounts that have a history of working with external agency partners. And if you would like, you've also got all sorts of industry categories. A lot of people that use Media Black Book are particularly interested in CPGs, so I'm going to go after some food CPGs, so food, beverage, alcohol. Let's go ahead and see what we bring back. So we've got 327 accounts. If we didn't have so many filters on, it's normally many thousands per month, sometimes as many as 12,000, just to kind of give you an idea, but we're very, very heavily filtered here. Now, if you want to see what's going on in the account, if you're curious, you can always open up the account profile and just head on over to the activity tab. Once you're under this tab, you'll be able to see what's going on. In this case, we have enough data to do forecast, which is this particular timeline here, and then the green is when we detect all that information. So let's come on down, we'll filter it down to the pre-release timeline, and you'll see we've got Voodoo Grape, Orange Fury, Wrath of Grape. These are probably all new branded flavors that are going to be coming out at some point. It looks like they even have a suspected ad campaign slogan, Shockingly Smooth. So that's what this looks like inside Media Black Book. I wouldn't get too hung up on all the details personally. If they're in here for a good reason. I would just start marketing to them personally. Another thing I want to point out here is the activity score in this column. What this means is essentially it's the scoring of how much activity we have found within the account within the time frame you have selected for the search. So the higher the activity score, the more that is going on. It doesn't necessarily mean that a low score is necessary. It doesn't necessarily mean a low score doesn't necessarily mean it's not worth going after. I've seen accounts come through where it's a really big name company and they've got like an activity score of 2, but when you open it up, you see a really obviously significant looking campaign slogan being brewed. So you probably want to talk to them, especially if you're doing any kind of media planning and buying services. So at any rate, that's what that activity score is for. Now, as far as taking action on this information, if you want to do general marketing to these accounts, you can just select everything and then immediately export it and then upload it to LinkedIn to do a targeted ad campaign. If that isn't what you like to do, if you like to do email type stuff or you want to do cold calling, you can always take this selection and load it into the contact search. And what's going to happen is these 327 accounts are going to become like a filtering group, and you'll be able to search various position titles only within these particular accounts. And then you can select them, build a list, and export it. So that's essentially how the monitoring section of Media Black Book works. This is really the big thing that people come to us for. Um, so yeah, if you have any questions or concerns or need any help, just give us a quick call or an email. I'm more than happy to set up a training for you. Other than that, happy hunting.